When do you make a commemoration for something? When you're in the middle of it? Or when you've gotten out and it's over? We find something odd, I think, in the Parsha this week. Moshe stands up and he's giving the Jews the halachas of Korban Pesach. And he tells them, you guys are going to take a Korban Pesach on the 14th of Nisan. You're going to shecht it, you're going to put the blood on the doorposts and on the mashkaif. And then you're going to eat it with matzah and maror, roasted. Don't eat it raw or cooked in water. You got to eat it roasted. Now, that's great. You have the Korban Pesach. But one thing struck me here. Why are we eating maror? What do you need maror for? So there are different mefarshim explain why we actually eat maror with the Korban Pesach. One explanation is that when you're having a lamb, so what goes well with the lamb? You want to have something a little bit bitter, like mustard or maror, as a condiment with your meat. Okay, that works. Rashi, though, doesn't say that. Rashi says we're eating this maror. He says, "V'tzivam lechol maror zecher l'vayimaru es chayeyem," as a commemoration to the fact that the Egyptians made your life bitter. And that's what we say in the Haggadah. Why marzel al shuma? And we say because vayimaru es chayeyem. So I'm just like scratching my head on this one. They're still there. They're still in Egypt. They got the mitzvah are everywhere. So I need to eat the maror to remember vayimaru es chayeyem. So maybe you'll say, listen, okay, this is really a pasuk that was given l'deiros. This is for generations. Everybody's going to eat matzah and maror for the generations. All right, I hear that. But it seems that they ate maror that year. And Rashi's saying the reason why they ate maror that year was because of Vayimaru es chayeyem zecher, commemoration for the bitterness. Okay, so maybe you could say that, listen, they've been having makas. There have been makas going on for the past 9, 10, 11 months. So maybe they forgot how bitter it was. I don't know, I find that hard to believe. Here, these are people who have experienced, they're still living in Mitzrayim. They need to make a zecher to the maror, to the bitterness, to the harshness, to the shibud of Mitzrayim. There are different ways we get through difficult times. Viktor Frankl, who was a psychologist who was in the concentration camps, he founded a mode of psychology called logotherapy. And during that time, when he was in the concentration camp, he realized that he's able to look at himself objectively. You have a consciousness. We can look at ourselves separate from ourselves. It's an amazing idea. That we could look at ourselves objectively. You close your eyes, you imagine, and you could see yourself. Here, I could see myself now being videoed, and in my head, I see that. And I could think about how that feels and what it's like. And he would use this while he was in the labor camp. He would envision himself lecturing at a university about what he's going through right now. A phenomenal idea. He said that's what got him through it. The fact that he was living he was suffering here, and he gave it meaning. That he's going to be able to lecture about it and describe to people what he was going through and how he dealt with it right now. So perhaps there's an idea here that when we're going through something difficult, we need to make a commemoration now of that difficulty as a sign for later, that we're going to get out. It's like an optimistic doing, I'm not just being optimistic that I'm going to get through this, but I'm going to do something now as a commemoration that I'm going to commemorate. I'm doing something now as a commemoration as if I'm already freed. As I'm out of this tzara already. Avada, you're not out of the tzara, you're there. You're going through the pain and you're experiencing it. But you know you're going to get out. The Jews were nigal. They were redeemed because they knew they'd be redeemed. The emunah that they had, that God is going to get me out of this. It was so real to them that they're given a tzivui now, make a commemoration while you're still in it for something you're going to do when you get out. Just an idea. A zecher to the man. HaKadosh Baruch Hu doesn't want us, He doesn't give us pain and yisurim to make us suffer for the sake of suffering. He gives it to us to make us bigger, to make us greater. So let's have the emunah that Kadosh Baruch Hu is going to get me out of this. I'm going to come out stronger and better. And let's do something now to commemorate that event.